What's up, everyone? This is Soul. This is another episode of Leak Season. And we are, of course, doing it live with the folks over in the chats. Over there, we're going to talk smack together. And as usual, we'll have a little disclaimer. All of these leaks are fake. None of these are real in the slightest sense, unless I'm wrong, of course. And so we're going to treat it that way. We're going to treat this as fan fiction that's written from World of Warcraft fans. And we will nitpick, we will, talk smack, do that sort of thing. There are only two this time, thank goodness. Actually, well, 2.5, but one of them was so long. It was incredibly long. I even did a word count. It was 17,000 words long. And for context, some of my longer Saturday weekly, my Warcraft weekly episodes, those are roughly 3,500 words long. And so I'm not going to spend all day reading whatever that was. But thankfully, this person made a TLDR for it. So we're going to get to that one second. Because it was just that long. I'm not going to read that whole thing. So for now, let's go ahead and get right to it. Starting with Throne of the Fallen, or Totif, right? So I matched with this guy on Tinder. Oh, god dang it. After a couple days, he revealed to me that he has a major role at Blizzard, but wouldn't say which. As such, after my excessive nagging, he decided to reveal some details about the next expansion. I walked into this one, man. Expansion name is called Throne of the Fallen, with a new zone called Kalthamar. After the events of Ny'alotha, Azshara said that she would look for the true crown of power. It was one of the many gifts given to Queen Azshara during the War of the Ancients, and acted as a failsafe in case things went sour. But Azshara's confidence got the best of her and she never activated it, believing the resistance would never win. It's a Titan facility constructed by the demonic armies of Sargeras, and it is inhabited by a vast army known as the Fell Forged. They are led by Warlord Galish and serve Azshara, as was their last order before the facility sunk to the bottom of the sea during the Sundering. Azshara has now risen up an entire island from the bottom of the sea and seeks to reclaim her rightful place as the Queen of Azeroth. It features 5 zones with an additional end game zone. So for a not serious premise, which pretty much, kills my motivation to even think that this could be real, this isn't such a bad premise. So she's looking for a super weapon that she made. It happens to be a Titan facility. We have no idea what it does, but at one point she was during her whole team up with Sargeras, like they are teamed up. So this is very much a Burning Legion sort of thing. Oh well, that's cool. And yet they didn't do anything during the actual Legion invasion. Nah. What are they doing on the surface? Oh, it's just the big boss invading. What do we do, boss? I don't know, we're just gonna wait for orders, I guess. Anyway, new gameplay. There will be no new classes, as Blizzard is satisfied with the current number, but each class now has an additional spec, including an additional role known as support. Oh god. They are not healers, but provide themselves and others with beneficial effects. Well, let's see how this shit works. A few of the new specs he revealed to me was Commander for Warrior, focusing on leading and supporting people into battle. Trickster for Rogue, a new tanking spec. I thought it was a support thing. Focusing on cooldowns and dodging and parrying attacks. Shaman has all their specs renamed. Shaman has all their specs renamed just because, right? And they have their specs renamed with a 4th additional one focusing on one of each element. Water is for healing, wind is for ranged DPS, fire is for melee, and earth will be a new tanking spec. A new zone specific event is known as Onslaught, where the Fell Forged will launch a massive assault upon a zone, and if the players don't fight back and recapture areas, they will be locked out until they do. This is to create a sense of scale, urgency, as well as Blizzard wanting to focus more on Lore. Yeah, rhyme. But this doesn't sound like the best idea, because players will always fight back, and so why even do it? Or why even have why even have that punishing that whole punishment mechanic when chances are pretty good that they're going to make it so that, after iterations, they're going to make it so soft that it's not going to matter anyway. Imagine if they did do something like that, where, oh, you beat back a thing, you get an achievement or something for it, but then you'll never get that chance again, because afterwards we're always going to beat it back. The other weird thing about this is, like, phasing and shards. How would that work? Like, am I going to phase myself into a scenario where we lose, and who do I blame for that? Because, lots of junk that this person didn't think of, because Blizzard didn't think of this, because it's fake. Guild halls makes an appearance. Ooh, allowing guilds to purchase a guild hall in any or neutral city with the ability to customize with gold and guild achievements. It provides services such as portals, guild banks, a PvP arena, and a well-rested buff, which is a more powerful version of rested. But they didn't say how, which makes this kind of pointless, because you're probably max level, but I guess that's okay. Titan Fortune is back, but can now be re-rolled with tokens. A new borrowed power system that is faction-wide, meaning the whole faction has to work together to progress it instead of individually, providing powerful buffs in the Throne of Fallen content. Thus, it will have a large focus on outdoor gameplay. So, I think this was mistaken, that it's not exactly faction-wide, but it's more region-wide. That's an important context to say, because it's not exactly your server that's going to be putting the effort into this. You can't have that, because, like I said, talking about freaking like phasing and sharding and all that stuff, you can't really do like just server-wide stuff anymore. A new raid called the Citadel of Dreams, featuring the souls of Kaldorei brought back to life by Ashara, fiercely loyal to her. Blizzard has acknowledged lack of attention and spotlight for some races, especially lacking strong characters and replacements after their leaders die. Lillian Vaz, Gazlo, Gera, Vandar Stormpike, Faria, and Isa Cloudsinger will feature major roles, as well as other characters such as Malfurion and Thalyssra. Cross-faction will be allowed for PvE as well as PvP, but your appearance will be altered, so you do not have orcs fighting for the Stormpikes, or dwarves for the... Wait, I don't get it. Oh, as PvP. See, I'm still not convinced by like that whole aspect of, oh, we'll just forcefully change your race or whatever, just put you on a different side. It just feels like we're better off removing the veneer that is the faction divide. So in Warsong Gulch, maybe that has like a certain theme to it, but it's, just one side or the other, and you're just fighting for whatever. I don't know. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to me. Return of reputation gains for tabards, but I feel the projection for this one. So let's talk about rep and tabards. Return of rep gains for tabards, but the reputation is rewarded at the completion of the dungeon raid instead of for each mob that you kill. Higher difficulty means higher reputation. Blizzard has realized that there's a bit too much time gating and gives you an option to farm reputation at reasonable levels when you're locked out. This doesn't address anything, though. Right? There are lots of things about rep. I've gotten to that conversation a lot, but just throwing a rep thing on it doesn't solve like a darn thing. Anyway, the Jailer's defeat will have unexpected consequences down the road, but for now, it is kept on ice, as Blizzard has acknowledged that they need to tone down the cosmic threats every expansion and needs some time to breathe and calm down. This is reveled to me during the night we were drinking together, and he said it all. After all, we both passed out, and the following day I pretended he never said anything. I may have betrayed his trust, but I'm quirky like that. Oh, so you're cute. Maybe you were drinking and you just dreamt that he said all that stuff. Has that occurred to you? I don't know, man. This didn't have a bad premise though. Like the plot, that's believable. Return to Azeroth, existing threats, kind of took a back seat, but now she's back. Whoa! This one gets like maybe a 3. Yeah, maybe a 3. Moving on to the second and final one of the week. So this is the one I was talking about. This is a micro leak. Like, thank goodness this person made 2. Or he made a TLDR, which isn't really a TLDR. There's actually still a lot that we're reading, but the problem, that first one, that we would have been here like all stream, just reading, not even reacting to it. We would be here like forever. And so I'm glad that this person didn't do it. I feel a little bit bad too, because I'm dismissing the long version of it, but I don't care, because that would have just been way too long, and this is fake anyway. So am I really going to believe that one person can leak like the entire expansion plus the patch cadence and all that stuff? So anyway, let's go. Micro leak, short TLDR for Dragon Isles and quote Twilight. Just in case the main post doesn't make it, here's the tilde. Zones, pre-patch, Dragonblight. 10.0, Dragon Isles, a polar region where we start, a desert zone, a scorched zone with a volcano, and a forest zone. I hope the volcano isn't next to the forest, because then I'd have to ask myself, how is this forest zone next to a volcano and it'd still be like okay? Anyway. 10.0.5. So they're already planning for a fuck up patch. I've said that 9.0.5 is the worst patch that WoW has ever done. Not because they wanted to, but it's not because they wanted to make it, but it just happens to be the worst patch that they've ever done because it didn't add like jack. But anyway, so they're saying they're going to add something for Southern Barrens. Riveting. 10.1 will be the Temple of Depths, an island, a new zone resembling the Dragon Isles concept art. Okay, so we had like a little bit of that, kind of. 10.1.5 will be Ashara. Okay, this is very much a TLDR, because it's like, okay, why are you having Ashara as a minor patch? Wouldn't you want her to be a major patch? 10.2 is going to be the volcano from the Scorched Zone. It has Infralar, and Titanic influences, and will work as a, quote, Korthia zone. Okay, this is what I get for not reading the TLDR, but what the hell does a Korthia zone mean? So it's like a small zone with lots of cosmetics, and it has random... Well, it's like a bunch of other zones. 10.2.5 Ghostlands. 10.3 the Rift of Ulm, and a 10.3.5 in Dusk. So a last minor patch that opens up zone changes and stuff. Let's get to why. Someone says I think they mean the island system. The island, but then Korthia is not an island. Well, anyway, maybe I'm missing something. The pre-patch will see us defending Dragonblight from the forces of death and the void, who attempt to claim the remains of Galakrond for themselves, establishing Wormrest Temple as the new Chamber of the Heart for this expansion. Main patches will reveal that Azeroth is consuming the elements as she once did with the One of Spirits. Lore comprehension. As she's trying to heal her wounds inflicted by Sargeras and the Jailer with their energies. Warthian will tell us how the Dragon Isles are connected to the elemental planes, as it is there where the original proto-drakes were born, and how the unnatural storms preventing anyone to go there have stopped as the element's energy started fading. But Death and Void forces are also trying to conquer this land and will be there to face them. That actually is a... I'm not the most lore... I don't have the best comprehension on lore, but that sounds pretty competent so far. We'll clean a Titanic facility from the Void's corruption, as the Void was taking said energies for itself, explaining why it got to the point of the elements not responding anymore and becoming dormant. Then we will clean Void corruption from the Temple of Depths and the Abyssal Maw, venture into the island's volcano, which formed in a battle between Ragnaros and Therazane, forming the Black Proto-Drakes, and find out Ragnaros was once tried to consume what remained of Spirit, which created the Red Proto-Drakes, defeat the Black and Twilight flights in Outland through a portal in the volcano, and last but not least, cut the Void's and Olun's connection to the Emerald, Nightmare, and Dream in hopes of one day fully clean it from It Is corruption. That's heavy. That's the start. Damn. Oh, no. Maybe that's the whole thing. Okay. The 10X and 5 patches will be mostly Death and Void forces assaulting a revamped zone, and the Alliance and Horde coming together to defend in a questline, a scenario, and then world quests and assaults. You know what we need with these big, with what seems like these big scale things? We need war fronts. I liked war fronts. I really liked Battle for Stromgarde. If I could play that solo, I would just play it for like funsies, just to like fuck around with stuff and just watch, hordes of orcs. Actually, I would turn them into corgis with the corgi glasses. I would see stampedes of corgis, corgis mounted on wolves, just decimating the enemy, because it'd be fun, right? All right, leveling dungeons. So there are 4 leveling dungeons, including the Frozen Sanctuary, an ancient sanctuary of the polar land, overtaken by death. Okay, that doesn't sound very exciting at all. The Frozen Sanctuary. It's an ancient sanctuary of cold stuff. Oh. Amazing. The beginnings of time, the place of birth of the bronze proto-drakes. The infinite dragonflight is attacking it through time. Oh, that'd be so cool, dude. If you saw like, humanoid dragons coming in with like rifles and tanks and stuff, like real world rifles and tanks, or like spaceships, dragons flying spaceships. Oh, that'd be amazing. Kobold Lair, the deepest of caverns ever mined, where we'll find void forces feared and sealed by the kobold and defeat them permanently. We're gonna fight. It's a kobold dungeon. Welcome back to Azeroth. I know you guys have done a lot for the planet, but you're gonna go into this kobold dungeon in Mythic Plus, and you're gonna wipe to these creatures. And finally, the Tainted Core. We must face the forces of the nightmare that are seeping to this land through it is connection with the Dream. Max level dungeons, there are 4 more, including the Engulfing Mists. Odin promises to lend us his aid against the forces invading the Dragon Isles if we help him slay Helya for once and for all. She warns us not to trust him. Okay, that one seems reasonable. Unnamed Mogu assaults. Similar to the Eye of Ashara, we must protect the land from Mogu, troll, and manted invaders. Volcanic depths. Twilight and flame cultists are trying to take the powers of Ragnaros for themselves and create a new Fire Lord. So these are only dungeons? Sheesh. And the Blighted Heart. To end the threat of the Drust once and for all, we venture into Thros and cut the realm's connection to Ardenwood. These are very, final. Go into this dungeon and defeat Helya. Put an end to this character, finally. Same thing with the Drust and stuff. All right, so and a raid. Uldaz, an abandoned Titan facility connected to Azeroth's world soul. The Void and the Nightmares found it before we could and are consuming all of our energies like a parasite. We must clean this facility, even if that means fighting against Azeroth herself. That doesn't make... Well, obviously I'm skipping a lot of stuff, but that doesn't make much sense to me. 10.1, the Temple of Depths Mega Dungeon, where we clean the Temple of Void Corruption and cultists. The Abyssal Maw Raid, where we attempt to clean the water plane from corruption as well. So... Okay. Doesn't sound super exciting, but... Temple of Depths Mega Dungeon. Alright, 10.2, Black Lair. Just Black Lair. Not Blackwing Lair, but Black Lair. Hey, you guys know what would sound really different? Oh, what's that? Instead of Blackwing something, we'll just call it Black Lair. And it's like, oh, really? That's all you got? Yeah, that's really is all I got. Okay, Black Lair it is. Where we fight Sibelian and the Dragon Maw. We find black dragon eggs there, which Rathian believes could still be saved from corruption. And the Twilight Fortress in 10.2, where we fight Sinestra and Chromatis. Ebonhorn dies during Sinestra's... This is very detailed. That's very specific. Ebonhorn dies, and Rathian finally takes his place as the representative and aspect of the Black Dragon Flight. Okay. And then no in between. And 10.3, the Dream Salvation. As we find out that the old gods can no longer corrupt the dream from Azeroth, we must cut it is only other source of corruption from reaching it, even if that means Elune won't be able to reach it either from now on or not as easily at least. So I'm like I've been saying, I'm missing a lot of stuff, but it feels like it gives this expansion flow the feeling of let's knock stuff out, as opposed to like a progressing story, like as things become more threatening. You know, we started Shadowlands in a really dire situation, and now we pretty much have our backs to the wall as the big bad guy is going to destroy literally everything. Here though, it just feels like here's a big quest line and here's all the things to do, but they don't feel like they lead up to anything, which isn't bad, right? It's not bad. It feels like it's like each patch would be a vignette or a separate story of its own. But I guess what's missing is like the big connecting campaign that ties it all together, or that leads us into like a certain direction. So not having it connected would be different. I think a lot of folks wouldn't react very well to it though, because they're used to the story flow going a certain way, and for it to not exactly escalate, it would just kind of meander. I think a lot of folks would be like, I don't know about that. Thank you, by the way, for subbing. Yay, you're awesome. I love you. The Endless Nightmare will be this expansion's version of Torghast, where we attempt to clean parts of the Emerald Nightmare. It will get new modes and parts unlocked through the expansion. That'd be kind of cool. Like just a mind fuck. Welcome to the forest. You know, straight up Lost Woods sort of stuff. Except everything kills you, everything gets stronger, and there's a big satyr that'll chase you after he dies too many times or something like that. Good premise. Now, of course, the fact that this leak doesn't say much of anything about how this Torghast is going to work or lessons learned, things like that, I think that's something that people will be more interested in than just the theme. Grim Patrol will be the new pet dungeon. Oh, this person's even covering pets. Even though they have said that unfortunately pet dungeons haven't been very well received, or they weren't very popular, and that's why we haven't seen one yet since BFA. Anyway, it's going to be a new pet dungeon showing alchemical and mechanical advances regarding pets. And in PvP, there's a new battleground in Form and Underground Titan facility will be available. The Azure Sanctum will be a new Nexus-like arena. Complete with flying discs. Oh, yeah. A new class, Tinkers. Oh, God. I'm going to have a drink. Tinkers are coming into the game. Using technology created during the Fourth War, as well as Mechagon. Races will include gnomes, mechagnomes, dwarves, dark iron, void elves, Draenei, Lightforged goblins, Forsaken, blood elves, Nightborn, orcs, and Maghar. No humans or Kultiran for now. Why? They'll start near level 10. Their storyline will revolve around what to do with the Azurites that's been surfacing during the events that precede BFA. This will take place in revamped Tanara's zone, but mostly in Gadgetzan. They will be sent to aid their factions during the events of BFA, coming together again in Mechagon, and then participating in Shadowlands content as if they had always been there. It's a male class, predictable, with 3 specs. The Enforcer's a tank. They'll have electric shocks, stun bombs, flash grenades, electric fields, reflective shields, decoys, heal bots, and more. Similar to Demon Hunters, they'll be able to use a dyeable racial mech suit as a cooldown. Sapper is ranged DPS. They go all out all times with sticky bombs, rockets, oil, flamethrowers, grenades, refined gunpowder, mines, turrets, and more. The medic is a healer. There will be healing salves, sprays, heal bots, enhancing and shrinking rays, protective fields, as well as acids and poisons for their enemies. Nothing too revolutionary, but those are decent themes. Their class hall will be an airship made by the Tinker Union. We get to use that we use to get to the Dragon Isles, and will be the expansion's sanctum. But what if we're not a tinker? We'll still be using many systems from Shadowlands, such as the Soulbind one. We'll choose a Dragonflight or aspect to bind ourselves with and grind and grind ancient power. Oh, I love that. This person put in the effort to make up a thing to say AP. Oh, I'm sure that when he figured that out, he's like, dude, I got it. AP. And then he just whipped his dick out and just started going at it. Oh, I'm so brilliant. There won't be a covenant per Dragonflight. They, however, have their own reputations, along with the Alliance and Horde expeditionary forces. Callings are moved back to the map UI, but we'll keep the objective and reward system from Shadowlands, always rewarding gold, AP, and reputation for completing them. They won't be tied to the character's aspect or flight, but will still be tied to a zone like they are now in Shadowlands. There won't be Alliance and Horde callings, however, as they will follow the assault system from Shadowlands, focusing their efforts every 3 days in one of the revamped old world zones, starting with Dragonblight. Yeah, but what's the point of having, I mean, at least from what I've read so far, we're not really, are we going back to the old world? I think I saw like some random ass places, right? Yeah, Ghostlands, Duskwood. Okay, so I guess there was like that stuff. All right. Customization. 925? 925. Void Blood Elf and Maghair eyebrows. Oh, 925. POC faces? Wow. POC faces. Something about that is very off-putting. I don't know what, but I can't express it. Maybe chat will help me out. Maybe comments will help me out. But something feels not cool about that. Red skin for Forsaken, pink eyes for gnomes, purple eyes for Draenei, and yellow eyes for Zandalari. See, it's weird how they're very specific with those. But POC faces. Okay. In the Tendo, we're going to get undead facial hair. Undead facial hair? Why? along with more of this, along with POC hairstyles for undead, elves, dwarves, and gnomes. Death Knight skins for most allied races, along with red and green eye color options and eye from option. Wait, why? Why not do it all at once? So Death Knight skins for most allied races, along with red and green. Oh, so red and green eye color options, that could have been in 925. In fact, why even have those customizations in 925? Save them for 10.0, so that way we don't have to wait as long for a 10.0 expansion. Genius. Let's keep going. Grim Totem tattoos for Torn, and the option to choose the underwear borders color for Pandaren. That's also very specific. Why? Why just Pandaren? Why not everyone else? I would love, like seriously, like I would love to have different draws for the characters. I think that'd be cool, right? Different bra colors, different, shorts or panties or whatever. At least colors or something. I don't think that's a big ask. Troll and Zendalari beards. I'm sorry. Earrings for the males. Wait. These are all timed? Why are they timed? Why are they? Yeah. And 10-3 tail options for so. So this person's scheme is like, okay, here's what's gonna get the players to come back. In the 10.05, we'll do this and this, and in the 10.1, earrings. It's the earring patch. 10.2, dragon moss, get whatever that means, and then 10.3, this will get the players to come back, man. The tails. Oh boy. Okay, gear. White and gray gear will become transmoggable during the pre-patch. Okay, that's a win. I'll take that. Forget everything else. Just put all the efforts into making more transmog options. Easy. No lessened restrictions for now, except for glaives becoming usable for warriors, rogues, and hunters. Wait, glaives? No, okay, glaives are one-handed weapons, I'm sorry. Monks being able to use two-handed swords, priests being able to use one-handed swords, and Death Knights becoming able to use staffs. I have a feeling that this person plays these classes so they can have more transmog options. Currently, quote, male and quote, female gear will be made available for both genders. I think that, honestly, I think that's a win too, because fuck it, why not? Why not? You might think it looks silly, but someone may want to do that. And I don't think that's a big deal. There won't be allied races from Shadowlands Covenant in 925. You'll receive a toy that will allow you to take the appearance of a member of your Covenant of choice. The appearance gained through this toy will be customizable at your Covenant Sanctum. Allied races. Oh, allied. Okay. The fact that they're calling them allied races again, that's also a fuck up. Because, I've explained this before, or at least my understanding of it is the idea of allied races that was closely tied to the faction war, and so now we're just getting new races. The redeemed. That's okay. That's low effort, dude. That's low effort. They straight up ripped a name from like some other some theories, fan theories, Wowhead leaks or whatever. The redeemed. Warrior, paladin, hunter, priest, mage, and what, only 6 classes? You're telling me no. I would argue that okay. Let me read all these races. Oh, so wait, and they're what kind of stupid shit is this? They're straight up. Okay, let's have this allied race in the pre-patch. And then in each patch, they add another thing. That's fucked up, dude. That's totally fucked up. It's like, so I gotta wait to play Lightbound Orcs in 10.2. You know, maximize, so something maximize those race changes, blizz. Yeah, that's a whack idea. Yeah, one race per patch or minor patch. Nah. Well, let's see what we got. So the Redeemed Light Undead Frostborn. Well, I don't know what Frostborn are. Oh, and these are just for the Alliance. Just for the Alliance. Frostborn, the Mogu will join the Alliance. The Furbolg. The Furbolg will join the Alliance. The Jinyu, the Broken, the Lightbound Orcs, okay, and Night Elf Worgen. Okay, so okay, what? Okay, Redeem can be Warrior, Paladin, Hunter, Priest, Mage, and Monk. Frostborn, whatever those are, Warrior, Paladin, Rogue, Hunter, Priest, Shaman, and Mage. The Mogu can be Warrior, Hunter, Rogue, Shaman, Mage, and Monk. Didn't Mogu have like all sorts of weird powers though? I guess those were mostly related to like blood or something like that. Furbolg can be Warrior, Hunter, Shaman, Mage, and Druid. Jinyu can be Warrior, Hunter, Rogue, Priest, Shaman, Mage, and Monk. So the problem that I'm seeing here is that why wouldn't we see Death Knights? Now, not all of these. Yeah, I think they could easily have retconned these to become Death Knights too. Because why not? It's not like these races are new. So, yeah, realms are up. Oh, thank God. We're gonna keep going though. I will not speed this up, even though I still got. Oh fuck! Let's keep going. Because they gave us all DKs in 9.0. Yeah, but I'm thinking thematically, like, okay, the only things that I would not see as Death Knights would be the Lightbound because they were not around. The Redeemed, I don't see I don't see why not with these either. They're still undead. As for what would, well, okay, I don't know if Mogu can even be undead. So maybe they don't count either. I don't know. I just find it weird that there's no demon hunters. Oh no, I'm sorry, not demon hunters. No Death Knights included on this list. So oh well. A neutral allied race with a Tuskarr, of course, because they gotta get he's gotta get Taliesin to read this link too. Horde allied races again, time gated. They're gonna get Undead Elves. They're gonna get the Tonka, which is what they should have had in like what patch 3.0 or whatever. They're getting the Sethrak, of course, the Saberon, the Gill Goblin, the Monk Nathal, the Drogbar, and the Leper. So wait, so no new Death Knights here. Death Knights all around. So Undead, Tonka, Monk Nathal. Wait. Wait, why are there not Monk Nathal Death Knights? I thought they all stayed in Outland, right? This person is a Monk Nathal fan. This person is Skull Shorties. I bet you. Watch, he made this league just for himself. Drogbar are going to join, but no. Oh, wait. So Drogbar are joining from Legion. No other Legion races. Oh well. And Leper Gnomes. Leper Gnomes. Some main and allied races will have or will be able to unlock secondary models, which include Thin Humans for humans, Bulky Trolls for trolls, Ankoan for Jinyu, Undead Night Elves, and so on. Hey, you know what would also be like smart? Not just Thin Humans, but Coltiran humans. Genius. Some classes will. Yeah, you're right. Skull would have come up with better stuff. I have greater standards for skull. Anyway, some classes will be able to obtain items that will let them follow quest chains similar to the Warlock's Fellfire one. I don't have the best vocabulary, but it's similar to the Warlock's Fellfire one. The one just throws me. Anyway, monks will find a scroll of the Crane Wing Order, which will allow them to use holy and fire spells instead of mist. Ooh, so these okay, so this is cool. This is a cool part. Warriors and paladins will find secrets of the void and will be able to use shadow looks on their spells and abilities. If they're gonna do that, give us blood abilities back, dude, for paladins. Warlocks, death knights, and mages will find a resonating scourge stone, which will lead them into knowing how to use death spell effects instead of shadow and unholy. Undead and Maldraxxi pets and blue fire for mages. Nah, it should have been green fire just to like really piss off warlocks some more. Druids will find a corrupted totem that will allow them to channel the nightmare's energies and transform into corrupted druidic forms. That's kind of cool. Rogues will find a cursed ring, which will allow them to use ghost-like spells instead of shadow ones. Okay, I don't think that's really going to show up very well. Demon hunters will fight void forces in order to change their fell spells for shadow ones. I think it would have been cool if they did like a holy one instead, which would sound like insane too. But after seeing that whole Zira and Illidan thing, I think I'd like to see like holy demon hunters too. Hunters will only receive a black arrow glyph for their arcane shot. That's it. Get fucked, hunters. Get fucked. Humans and undead will get their heritage armors in 925. Pandoran will get theirs in 1005. Okay, so they're so heritage armors, but they're also going to be time gated. Wrath Classic is coming, not surprised. Next expansion will be a world. Oh, the next expansion? Or they're talking about this one. There'll be a world revamp up to Cataclysm, and the new max level zone will be a revamped Draenor. The leveling order will be the old world, Cataclysm zones, North, Bren, Outland, and then what? I guess he's talking about the new thing. New race class combos will be made available with that expansion's pre-patch. Wait, with that expansion or this expansion? Because, yeah. So, humans can be shaman and druid. Kulturians can be pallies. Gnomes can be pallies. Mecha gnomes can be pallies. Everyone can be a paladin. Night elves, void elves. Night elf. Okay, night elf shaman. Void elf shaman. Night elf shaman, yes. Void elf shaman? Yes, we will consume you. By the way, elements, serve me, you know. And they're like, fuck that. Void elf shaman. Hey, we've seen weirder though. Draenei can be rogues, and demon hunters. Lightforge can be monk, dragon isles. Okay. Worgen pallies, Worgen shaman, or night elf Worgen shaman. Orc demon hunter, Tauren rogue. Yeah, there you go. Oh, someone pointed out dark shaman. Gotcha. Okay, no, I'm cool with that. Tauren rogue though. Wait, but High Mountain can't be rogues. Oh, come on. You're gonna go Tauren. You're gonna go all the way, man. Troll pallies, Zandalari warlocks, Forsaken pallies. Okay, saw that one. Elven. And druids. Forsaken druids. So the danger with making new druids is that you got to make new artwork for all them druids, and that shit sounds nuts. But oh well. Well, maybe we're coming to a point where there are so many that there are. I don't know if there are so many, but there are quite a few druid skins out there now. I wonder if beyond like a couple of defaults, is it just okay to have overlapping druid forms? I don't think that's a big deal. Wait, someone said Murloc Demon Hunters? Is that a thing? No? Darn. But yeah, real quick, like, where's the long? I have the long version. That was the short version of that leak. This is the long version. Like, I skimmed a little bit, and I saw straight up like they talked about, okay, what people are saying in cinematics, story stuff. I'm still scrolling, by the way. Yeah, all these little details, and from my skimming, like the way the attitude came off, it was super cringe. I couldn't stand it. I'm like, I can't read this thing. I barely got through the short version. I'm still scrolling, by the way. And yeah, just lots of extra details that, hey, I'll put a link on this in the description anyway for anyone who wants to. Okay, now I'm done. If anyone wants to take a look, cool. I will have that available. This one also gets a 3 because it explained a lot of stuff, and some of the premise of it sounded all right. Some of it though like fell apart. The whole POC thing was like very weird. But hey, that's fan fiction, I guess. You guys giving it a 2? Maybe. This whole thing, this one probably gets like a 1 or something like that, because this like wastes so much time with pointless information that nobody needs. I mean, I get it. If you want to leak. Assume, if we presume that this is real, but this is too much, man. Who would know this much information? Like, you'd have to know everything. And there's only a handful of people that know like everything. Everything else is just like compartmentalized. But as an expansion, even if this was like kind of real, it would feel like an aimless expansion too, because of where we're going and what we're trying to take care of. I mean, 1035, the rest of them, I mean, okay. But does it have that whole feel of escalating? No, not really. And chat's also pointed out that this is just a lot of stuff, dude. Even if these were separated by 0.5 patches or whatever, there's way too much stuff for anybody to develop. I don't care what kind of budget you have. I don't care how big your team is. This thing is just big. And this right here is multiple expansions. You know how we talk about how, BFA, fuck BFA, it should have been Ny'alotha should have been a separate expansion, blah blah. I agree with that in a lot of ways. That the whole faction war and the old god stuff, that should have been like separate expansions. This is several expansions like put together. They're trying to cram all this stuff in here that frankly isn't all that interesting. This one, Throne of the Fallen, this was a very simple premise, and it interested me. I remember it already. Like, Queen Ashara finds a super weapon. It's being guarded by like an old guard of Legion dudes, and we gotta stop them before she gets access to it and probably destroys the planet. This thing here, I don't even know how it starts. Maybe it's just the way that it's excuse me, the way that it's presented or whatnot, but I'm gonna revise this. This gets a 3. This gets like a low 2, a very low 2. But that is gonna be it for this week of leak season. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. Let me know which one was your favorite. I kind of already shared mine. I invite you guys to take a look at the long version of that thing if you dare. Just make sure you have a few hours of your life ready to throw away. I didn't want to throw that away, but that's going to be it from me. We're getting really close to when we're probably going to get an actual announcement, whether it's the actual announcement or the announcement of the announcement. And so I'm going to, keep an eye out. We might see some new stuff come in. Some new leaks, some new fake leaks, or things that might actually look credible. And if credible things do come, I may or may not cover them. I'll try to be very careful about how I cover those. because I don't want to get in trouble with anybody. But in the meantime, though, we're having fun with these sorts of things, and I'll share more of them as the days or weeks go by. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed and all that stuff, like the video, etc., etc., etc. And off I go. You guys have a good rest of the day. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.